Hey guys, Agro Ninja here, and welcome back to Enigmatica 8. In this episode, we're going to tackle finishing up our immersive engineering quest line. We're going to start to dabble a bit with Mekanism, potentially even thermodynamics. I would also like to create us some new armor and start setting up our first automated farms. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I would like to do in this episode is go on a tour so you can see the in-between episode updates I've made to the base. I haven't really added anything additionally. I've just made improvements and moved things around. So I've moved our dimensional cell cubes up here, and I've also upgraded all of the cabling to this advanced universal cable so it can transmit significantly more FE per tick than what we were transmitting. And over here, I've replaced the Mekanism cube with another dimensional cell. And this is the upgraded one. So you'll notice that these can output 5,000. This one can do 20,000. And it can store more. I'm not sure what it can. Well, there's 9 of these, so that's 27. So I guess that's... Well, there's 28 of them because I forgot about the one on the excavator. So that's 28 million. So this buffer is 4 million. So it's 4 times as much, which is the same as the in and out, 4 times as much. Basic math there, Ninja, basic math. So we'll head downstairs, and this is where the biggest changes are going to be. You'll notice that I've dropped the floor on this side, and I've expanded the room. So I didn't want the room to feel square, so I kind of just, at various points of the room, kind of expanded it. And this is where I've moved the arc furnace, and I've turned it around. I've also moved the improved blast furnace down here and got it set up. And we've been making steel. Yeah, you can see where I've made a few rounds of steel. And I've actually been using this to make ingots with because you can smelt 12 items at a time. So that's pretty nice. I've moved the crafting grid to here. And I've also got a stone cutter set in the wall that I can use to make the various blocks that we use on our building. I've pulled the wall back on this side 2 blocks and move these back 2 blocks so they're not right up against our power generation. So this is our assembler and our industrial squeezer. You'll also notice that I once again doubled our power generation. So I doubled it and then I doubled it again. So now we have, if my math is correct, 68 thermoelectric generators, because we originally had 17 times 2 is 27 times, wait, no, not 27, 34 times 2 again is 68. You can check my math, but I think that's how many we have. The output, which I did confirm is accurate, is 2,856 FE per tick, which unfortunately is still not enough to power our excavator. So that's a task today, is to get our power up to a point where we can power that nonstop. I pulled the wall back 5 blocks in this section and moved our crusher over here. I think it fits in quite well. I've been using it to crush ore, so I've got silk touch on all my tools now, including the mining gadget, so I can crush ores and then run them either through the arc furnace or the furnaces upstairs. And over here, I'll pull the wall back another 5 as well, and just push the sawmill back and move the engineering workbench over here, which this is the one machine we're not actually using for anything. This is hooked up, but we're also not actually using this either. The last thing we'll go take a look at is the excavator to see what resources we have been able to gather. I've have flipped it on and off a couple times. So we'll go grab those. Oh, it looks like it's nighttime. Let's sleep real quick. And we'll cut through the house because I've actually made a couple of changes in here, which is an ongoing project. So now we're not really using the starter home for much. So we're going to start decorating it and giving it some additional rooms. So there's nothing changed in the bedroom. Oh, I did add a painting. And on this side, I've turned this room into our enchantment room. So I've got the book set up in a way that we still get 15 in Turna. And I added another little window bench and some additional shelving and another painting. And I've cleaned out most of the storage room. So the plan for this room is to turn it into a kitchen. And then this room into a living room. So we got to get all this moved down today into the new primary crafting room. Now we'll head over to our excavator. You'll see it's flipped off right now because it still can't handle the load. But I've got quite a bit of iron, quite a bit of nickel. I left this in here just so I could show you how much it's done. We need to get some of the upgrades for this sophisticated storage chest. But let's go ahead and grab all this, and we're going to go put this in our storage system. What I would like to do now is start getting into Mekanism. So we're going to go dump this in the storage and start working on some new Mekanism machines. So what I would like to do now is take a look at the armor I would like to craft and start using for a while. And when I was looking at the materials that I had or was close to having, I found this refined obsidian armor from Mekanism Tools, which is an add-on mod for Mekanism. And this is going to require us to create a few machines we don't have. And there's a few different ways to get these ingots. And the way we're going to use is the Mekanism route. So we can get the refined obsidian ingot by compressing obsidian dust and osmium ingot and a compressor. So we'll need to craft one of these. And to get this dust, we can use a metallurgic diffuser and combine a diamond dust or these enriched diamonds with obsidian dust, which we can get from crushing obsidian with our crusher. And we can get these enriched diamonds from enrichment chamber, which we're going to craft first. So let's take a look at these basic control circuits, which are crafted in the metallurgic infuser using osmium and redstone instead of iron and redstone. So, which is what we use to craft those alloys. And I've already crafted some of these, so we should be able to go ahead and craft some of this stuff. So let's look for enrichment chamber to make this a little easier. And we need a, oh, it says we don't have those, but we have those. I'm not sure why it says we don't. So we'll make one of those. Basic. I'm not sure where I put them. They're not in here. Did I leave them in the, oh, haha, I left them in the machine. That would be helpful if we had them. All right. And now we should be able to go back to our enrichment chamber. And we're just going to make this basic one for now. And then we need the compressor from Mekanism. But we need another one of these. And we need something, I should have looked at this a little better. I did not realize we were going to need the advanced control circuit, which are, oh, that's too easy. So now we have two of those. Now we have an osmium compressor. And was there another machine we needed, or was it just the two? So let's go back to refined. I think that's all we need. So we can get this from the compressor. But we get this from, yeah, that's the only two machines we needed. So I've already got power cables ran to hook these up, and we're just going to put them right here for right now. I'm sure I'll move them around in the future. So we'll put the compressor there, the enrichment chamber there. And then we'll get some diamonds here. We're going to need 30, so we'll do 32 just to have a couple spare. We'll just do 30 like we need. And then we need obsidian. Let's see if we have 30 obsidian. Oh, yeah. So we need to go crush this. We're going to go crush this real quick. Hopefully it accepts crushed obsidian from Immersive Engineering, and hopefully it can crush obsidian. It is turned on, so let's see. This thing is going to be loud, so we'll probably... Does not appear that it's crushing it. So we need to get that out. Did I turn it off? I don't want to damage myself. We get that out of there. I think we can go back upstairs and create a Mekanism crusher. So if we look at crusher, And we'll just build the basic one for now. So we need 2 buckets of lava, which I don't know if we have. Let's see here. Let's go check the smeltery to see if there's any out there. So I was able to get the refined obsidian ingots, and I made a few mistakes along the way, but I did get there. You don't actually need this crusher. You get the obsidian dust from the enrichment chamber, which really doesn't make sense to me, but that's how you get it. And then, of course, I run my diamonds through here to get the refined diamonds as well. And then you combine those in the metallurgical fuser to get the refined obsidian dust, which you then combine with osmium in the compressor to get the refined obsidian ingots, which we can use to craft our armor. So we're going to go ahead and craft that up. There's our pants. Make the chest piece. And our boots. And we should have enough to do the shield as well. Just so we have a full set. We need to make a regular shield first. We actually should have 2 ingots left over. 3 ingots left over. No. Something's wrong. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 2 ingots left over. So that's a full set of armor that we can use going forward. Guess we go ahead and put it on. See how it looks. Oh, it don't look too bad. Let's see how it looks from the front. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, let me grab the sword for the full effect. Yeah, I look dangerous. All right, so the next thing that I want to take a look at is plastic. This is going to be the key for the rest of this episode. In order to get plastic, we need to smelt dry rubber. And you get dry rubber from tiny dry rubber. And you get tiny dry rubber from a latex processing unit. And if we look up latex, we get this from a fluid extractor, which we can put around logs. So let's go ahead and craft a few of these. We need some of these, some redstone blocks. Let's make a few. I don't know exactly how many of these we're going to make. We're actually going to make 6, but I don't know how many of those we'll need. Extractor will make it a little easier. And we want to make 6 of these. And then 6 pistons. And then 6 gold plates. Then we'll get a couple logs. And then we'll go ahead and set it up. I don't think these require power. But I do have power here, so it might make them faster. And we're leaving one spot empty. Because I want a block placer, but we can't craft that yet because we don't have the plastic required to make it yet. So that's all right. We can manually place blocks for a little bit. I wanted to get my hammer, which is in my backpack, on my tools, so we can spin these around in the right direction. We should be able to place a log there, and it should be producing latex. And it is. So we'll spin these around as well. And place another log. And I'll work on automating this a little better, but for now we're going to leave it like this. And I'm going to get enough latex to build the next few machines that we need. And while we wait on the latex, I think what I would like to do is look at creating a new way to get down from here from the courtyard. So I'm thinking maybe a staircase going up to the courtyard from right here. So we don't have to always go around the house when we're on the back side of the house. Just something to do while we wait on this latex. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So we're finished with the new entryway, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think this looks quite nice. You come in, it's two on this side coming into the double doors, and originally I had this 2 wide as well, but I didn't like the way it looked versus this other hallway. So I made this side 3 wide with the lantern to match the other side. I think it turned out quite nice. We're almost filled up a advanced fluid tank with latex. You can see I put some mechanical pipes on it and just pumping it into a tank. The only other thing that I done while we were waiting on that is I decided to use that windmill that we created in the last episode. It was just sitting in our inventory, and I found a good spot of where I thought it would look good, and we put it right here on the front of this building. And I think that turned out pretty good. I think we're going to integrate this power generation into our pool of power that we have, because it's not a lot, but it's still somewhere between 100 and 200 FE a tick. And I have that windmill upgraded with 8 sails, and if we take a look, you can see that these are upgrades for the windmill, and you just make them from tough fabric. So I made 8 of those and attached them to the windmill. But let's go ahead and start crafting some plastic up after we sleep, because it appears to be nighttime. And we'll just break this tank. And I realize we need to make another machine. So we need to make the latex processor. We need a bucket of water and a bucket of latex. So let's set this down. And I should have some buckets in here. 1 and 2. I don't think I have a bucket of water on me. Nope, but we can go get one. It's not like we're not right next to a river. Alright, now we should be able to craft that. Alright, one more machine. Let's just, for now, put it right here, maybe. We're going to reorganize this later, and then we'll need a mechanical pipe. And we're just going to pop this tank right here. Do I have any mechanical pipe left? I may have used it all. Well, we use this elite. Why not? We'll stick it right there. And then we just need our Mekanism configurator. So we can set this to out. And this needs power. We should have some. Does not appear we have any. That's alright, we can make some. Make that. I'm gonna go link that up. And it should be processing. Oh, does it need water as well? So now that I know that our plastic setup needs water, I will come up with a way to get water and it look okay. For right now, I've got this water condensator sitting on top of a basic energy cube. It doesn't use much power, but it filled this advanced tank up really quickly. So we're going to grab that, and now we have a full advanced tank of water to feed our latex processing unit. So we're just going to place it right here, and this is all temporary. I will play with these setups and get them looking nicer. So that should get us some dry rubber. So I think this is going to be a long process, so I'll probably just continue to work around the base and continue to farm latex and making tiny dry rubber into the bigger chunks that we need. Unfortunately, that machine out there took 2 full pieces of plastic, but we need at least enough plastic to build a couple of machines, and I'll show you what those are real quick. We're gonna build the, I think it's called the planter. Yeah, plant gatherer and plant sower. So we need at least one of each of these, and we should be able to set up our first farm. I would like to build 2 of each, but we'll see. Well, I'm gonna let that run for a while, and then we'll continue on. So I was able to get quite a bit of plastic made. We'll just take a quick peek. Yeah, I have 28, which is more than enough to make the couple of machines we need to make real quick. So let me go ahead and make those. So we had the, what was it, plant, gather. So we need to make some of this other stuff real quick. 2 of those axes. Got an iron hoe. One of these. And gold gear. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Oh, yeah, that's the one I wanted. Do we not have any gold? We'll just make a few of those because I think we're going to need more. So those will plant gather. We're just going to make one of each for right now. And the sower, we need to make a couple pistons. We need to make one more of these. Actually make 2 because there's one more machine I want to make, and I think it takes one of those. We need a flower pot and some gears. And we have a plant sower. The other machine I want to make is a machine we need to make some upgrades, because we're going to have to do some upgrades. Like we're going to need to do a range extender and a few other things. So we're going to go ahead and make the machine that we need, and I'll craft the upgrades off camera and then show you which ones we made. So we need a diamond gear. There's our diamond gear. What is this machine called? Dissolution chamber. All right. Looks like we need another bucket. There. And we make these different upgrades, different recipes, but almost all of them require latex, which we have plenty of. And then a combination of different ingredients. So we'll definitely be doing at least a range add-on, efficiency, potentially speed. We'll just have to take a look at what best fits our use case, because you're limited to how many you can use. So if I show you, if I put one of these on the ground, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So it can only have 4 upgrades, and there's more than 4 upgrade tops. You also can't go straight to tier 3. You have to do tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and so on. So you have to kind of pick and choose which ones you want to use. And I want to take a moment to look at a couple things we haven't looked at yet. So I did, in between episodes, make 2 additional 16K drives. So we got significantly more storage. Also, I did a stream on Sunday after posting the previous episode, and that's when we remodeled the room downstairs. So if you want, in the future, catch me on Twitch, the same name, I potentially may do some future streams. But let's go down here for a second. I had crushed some iron, and I wanted to show you guys how the arc furnace works, because this thing is awesome. It can smelt 12 things at a time, so we'll just spread it out here. Actually, that might be what this, oh, yes, it does distribute. So distribute, and then it will smelt. Oh, it would help if we turn it on. It will smelt 12 at a time, and it's quite fast too. So we get that really quickly, and it's just going into this barrel right here. So we'll let that smelt down because we're going to need some iron. So what we're going to work on now is setting up the immersive engineering refinery, and I believe what is the other thing that we need to finish this off? And we'll get to all these at the end of the episode. We need the fermenter and a refinery and a diesel generator. So we're gonna get ready to set all these up. We're gonna build one more room like this one, not quite this big. I think we're gonna do like a 9 by 15 on the other side of this wall. But there's nothing else left to do but get started. So we've got our next room created, and I don't know if this is how it'll end up looking long term, but this is how I have it set up now to just kind of test these machines. And if we do end up using this more than just testing, then we'll probably automate it a little bit better than it is right now. So we have the industrial fermenter, we have the refinery, and we have the generator. And I set up some of the closures over here with beetroot. So we're getting tons of beetroot seed and beetroot, which we can use to make the 2 fuels that we need in order to make biodiesel, which if we take a look at JEI and look at biodiesel, you'll see we need ethanol and plant oil. And if we take a look at plant oil, you'll see we can squeeze different seeds here. And I just went with beetroot. There's better options here, but some of these, like hemp's pretty good actually. May have been a better choice, but we're using beetroot. So we get 60 per seed. And if we look at ethanol, you can see we get 40 per beetroot. So it works out pretty good. We shouldn't have a lot of waste of either. And one of the reasons I went with beetroot is I can use the seed and the beetroot. Where like if we'd have went with melon, something we could have used, but it's not as good as beetroot. But where we could have on the other one used, what was the big one that I just saw? Cabbage, like cabbage and hemp seed. Although the hemp seed gives off good plant oil, you can't use hemp to make ethanol. So that's why I went with beetroot. And I did discover a bug. And I am going to report this. I'm a firm believer in not exploiting bugs. But I put this dimensional cell right on top of the diesel generator. You can see that right now my diesel generator is generating power. It's not generating a lot because there's not a lot of requirement, but I can go flip on the excavator and it'll max out this generator. It is not burning fuel since I put a little bit in just to test to see if it was working. So this is a bug. It shouldn't be doing this. So I'm going to report it. Until then, I'm going to pull this cell off and set it up the way you're supposed to using the high voltage cables and then convert it into the dimensional cell that way. But I'll do that in between episodes. So let's go take a look outside, and I set up our first farm using our planter and grower. I don't remember what that machine is called. And I just set them up over here behind the helipad. And it's a tree farm. So it's a plant gatherer, and it is full right now. So I haven't automated it yet, so it is just full of stuff. So if we pull all this out, you can see it in action. And on both of these, I did use a range extender upgrade as well as, what is the other one I used? Speed tier 1. So we have 2 more slots on both of the machines. And it will start slowly filling up with sludge. It's actually already full, but I think it continues to run even though it's full of sludge. But we can use this for something, I think, down the road. But it does look like it's getting dark. I think we got friend zone. I don't know if they're sleeping, so we're going to head back inside. But I think that's just about going to wrap us up for today. We got quite a bit done. There is a couple more things I want to take a look at real quick. So if we look at my backpack, you've probably noticed me using 2 new gadgets, and I forgot to highlight these. One's a building gadget, the other's an exchanger gadget, and they do exactly what they sound like they do. One exchanges block in your inventory with blocks in the world. The other can build using blocks that are in your inventory. And if we just take a look at one, you can see that there's different patterns. You can do a grid, do a vertical column, horizontal column, and surface. And you also can change the range. And the builder works the exact same way. It just, instead of exchanging blocks, it puts blocks in the world. The other thing I want to take a look at is our quest book. We have completed immersive engineering. Hopefully it'll let us do these. So we have that. We'll take that reward. We have the parts. I made the parts for this and put it in our refined storage system. That is everything but these. And I think we need to go make a... So let's go make a bucket of each of these real quick. And then that will finish off immersive engineering. Or at least it should. Ooh, I've got a lot to clean up and organize in between episodes. So we will just grab a stack of each. And I can't remember which goes into which. I think the seed goes here. Maybe it's the beetroot. No, it's the beetroot. So we'll let that fill up. And the other machine is on this side. So we're probably going to move some of this around, like I said. We'll just have to see. All right, now let's go grab 2 buckets. And can we bucket out of this? I don't know if we can. Oh, wrong machine. I believe we can. Yes. And we should be able to do that with the other machine. And now we should be able to finish off immersive engineering. So there's our rewards. Refinery. Well, this is not cool. So I built all this and it didn't give us... I'm not going to break the refinery right now. These are obviously done. So I will, in between episodes, when I move these, I will complete the quest. I don't want to break the blocks right now. But we will complete them. But I'm going to call that a job done. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. There is one last thing that I forgot to go over. So we're going to jump right back in for just a moment. And we're going to take our 2 buckets and dump these into these tanks on each side of the refinery. And the reason we're doing this is so you can see how the biodiesel is made. So you can see it's taking both the ethanol and the plant oil and using the nitrate dust, which is the compound element, and making biodiesel, which I then am just pumping into another tank, which is not currently attached. But with that, this is Agro Ninja, and that's a wrap.